We've all been there. You've ordered a small unisex BCD and it's still too long or bulky and the fit is, well, just okay. But no more. Now there is a wide variety of BCDs designed specifically for women on the market, including today's spotlight, the Cressi Elettra BCD. Hey everyone, it's Sylvia here from DIVEIN, the place where we test and review dive gear, bringing you all the best from underwater. Today I'm reviewing the Cressi Elettra, a hybrid style BCD that's actually made for women and not just a small version of a unisex BCD. In this video, I'll cover a walkthrough of all of Elettra's key features and what makes it ideal for women. My own real-life diving experience, from using it on the liveaboard to a recent vacation in Turkey and some cold water dives closer to home. I'll tell you what I liked and what I didn't like, and whether I recommend this BCD and who I think should buy it. Now, before we get started, I'm going to tell you about our giveaway. Here at DIVEIN, we test a lot of dive gear, and even though we love it, we can't keep it all. So we're going to be giving some of it away. Stick around and I'll tell you how you can enter the giveaway later on in the video. Now, let's talk about the diving experience of the Elettra BCD. I've got a little bit of a shorter torso, and I've always found with unisex BCDs, it's just a bit awkward and the tank always tends to hit me in the back of the neck, which obviously is not very comfortable. So when I got this women-specific BCD from Cressi over a year ago, I was intrigued what it had to offer and if it really would be more comfortable. First impressions are that the Elettra BCD definitely has some female-friendly designs and features. The most obvious ones are here at the front. We have an adjustable sternum strap, which you can actually remove altogether if you prefer. Next, Cressi claims that the shoulder straps are actually a little bit narrower. Now, of course, I haven't gone and measured every single BCD that there is in the market, but from just wearing it, I could tell it was a bit more tied around my torso and fit me a lot better. I do think that the Elettra is probably generally slimmer than other BCDs. Another feature unique to this Cressi Elettra BCD is the self-pivoting waistband, which is something I've never seen before. It actually is sort of separated from the back, so it pivots on itself. This is something I found really comfortable when I was walking around with a BCD, whether that be around the dive deck or on the dive boats, for example, on the liveaboard. Being able to wrap the waistband and the cummerbund around my hips, this self-pivoting mechanism allowed the BCD to move with me, which is much more comfortable and is a lot less stressful to wear, both on your back and on your hips. That being said, underwater though, I didn't really feel much benefit of the self-pivoting waistband. It wasn't really that noticeable. The next feature here is the padding, which is here along the back and along the sides, which made it fit really snug and was very comfortable. Generally, I tend to use a more minimal back-inflate BCD, so I did find the padding here along the sides of Elettra to be a little bit more than I do prefer. I usually dive with quite a large underwater camera, so these side panels were a little bit restrictive with my arm movement underwater. On the flip side, my usual minimal BCD isn't great on the surface, and this is where the Elettra really stood out for me. All this padding and the inflation both on the back and the sides really helped to lift me out the water. When I had to wait for the Zodiac to pick me up, honestly, that trade-off of maybe a little bit restricted move underwater was totally worth it when you're at the surface, nice and comfortable, high and dry, and you feel really safe and secure. So this BCD provides excellent lift. Compared to other donut-style wings I've worn before, I felt more stable, safer, higher at the water, and generally less exhausted. Let's break down the specs and features. The Elettra is a hybrid back-inflate jacket-style BCD. And what that means is it also has back inflation, similar to like the Emperor BCD, which is kind of the boys' version of this. I found this to be particularly great underwater, helps you with that trim, helps you stay nice and flat when you are swimming along. It weighs around 6.5 to 6.9 pounds, which is around 3 kilos, depending on the size, small or medium or extra large, etc. It's a decent travel option, especially if you want something a bit more supportive than your normal minimal travel BCD. The Elettra's outer body here is made from 1500D heavy duty nylon, and the bladder is nylon welded seams. The quick drying mesh here on the padding made rinse downs really easy, and it dried actually surprisingly quick between dives. There are 6 stainless steel D-rings, 2 on the sides and 1 just up here on the shoulder straps. Adjustable shoulder straps as well. A single tank band, a safety strap, and of course the adjustable sternum strap as well. So there isn't a specific octopus pocket, but I found you could just tuck it in here where the shoulder straps come out, and that was fine. It does have integrated weight pockets, which can hold up to 10 pounds, 4.5 kilos each. They lock in with a satisfying click and release quite easily. But like many divers, I did find it a little bit tricky to reinsert them once they are removed, especially if you're like just on the surface. That's only really a minor annoyance, since usually you do your weights once or twice on a trip. Then lastly, the pockets. I could squeeze a torch or a slate inside when I wasn't wearing the BCD, but sliding him back underwater was actually quite awkward, especially when I added more weights into the weight pockets. They took up space in the pockets. I found that, if, for example, if I took my torch out while I was diving, then it was actually quite hard to get it back in, and I would have liked to see some elastic or something to make these pockets expandable. That would have been a really great addition here. What did I love about this BCD? The comfort and the lift were definitely my two favorite options. From the narrow shoulders to the self-pivoting waistband and the generally shorter build. I feel like this BCD was specifically made for women and not just a smaller version of some generic other unisex BCD. The padding was very nice both on the surface and underwater, and I was surprised by how quickly it dried. On a liveaboard, when there's just a few hours between the dives, the Electra still managed to dry for the most part. Coming to what I wasn't too keen on, I did find the padding around the waistline, like I mentioned before, a little bit too much, and it could be quite restrictive. You can kind of see already in the video, there's actually quite thick. I think many women will actually really love that, especially because it gives you so much lift and is really snug underwater. But for me personally, it was just a little bit of overkill. Also, I wasn't a big fan of the pockets. For example, finding some trash in the water and trying to awkwardly get into this very slim profile of the pocket was just, it was too tricky. So I would like some Velcro or something, just expand that pocket. Now onto the giveaway. If you want a chance to win some of the gear that we've been testing here at Diving, including some BCDs, fins, and much more, like or even super like this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the newsletter. The first link is just in the description. It's also where we announce the winners, so make sure to check your emails. Lastly, comment below with the BCD you're currently using or the one you've been thinking about upgrading to. We pick winners regularly and announce them right here on the channel. So, who's the Cressi Elettra for? Obviously, I'd recommend it for women divers, especially those who are newer to the sport or dive in groups and want something that's super easy to don on and off, comfortable to wear, and supportive at the surface. I also think it's a great choice for instructors or professionals who need comfort and stability when demonstrating surface skills, doing a rescue course, maybe some dive master training. I know as an ex-instructor, I would have loved a BCD like this. The only downside would be the pockets, but many instructors these days just clip the slates onto their BCD. The lift makes it seriously a solid choice for recreational divers, and the female form is refreshingly comfortable. So that was the Cressi Elettra BCD. Thanks for watching. You can go to DIVEIN.com to find the full review, or you can see the link down in the description.